Egypt is a legendary land where the past and the present meet at the crossroads of Africa and Asia, and for thousands of years it has made people feel fascinated and curious. This is the place where huge pyramids stand proudly and challenge time, where the Sphinx quietly guards the secrets of history, and where the Nile River flows through the dry desert to support one of the most brilliant civilizations that ever existed. Every grain of sand here seems to keep the footsteps of the pharaohs, the magnificent temples, and the stories that go far beyond human imagination. But Egypt is not only the golden memory of ancient times. It is also the lively modern life in the crowded city of Cairo. The sunset that colors the sky red over the quiet Sahara Desert, and the special combination of long traditions and the strong change of a country that is moving into the future. Coming to Egypt is not only a trip, but also a journey back in time, where people can touch the spirit of a great civilization and fully feel the charming life of a land that is called a legend in the real world. Egypt is located in the northeast corner of Africa, and a part of its land extends across the Sinai Peninsula to reach Western Asia, a strategic position that since ancient times has made this country a crossroads of civilizations of Asia, Europe, and Africa. The north opens to the Mediterranean Sea, the east faces the Red Sea, the west borders Libya, and the south borders Sudan, creating one of the most important bridges for trade and culture in human history. Across this land flows the legendary Nile River, the lifeline that brings fertile soil, supports agriculture, and gave birth to one of the most brilliant civilizations in the world. Around this life is the vast sea of sand of the Sahara Desert, with endless sand dunes, green oases in the desert, and also the magical white desert that looks like another planet. Although it has a harsh, hot and dry tropical climate, Egypt still shows the strong life of its people, who used the Nile to turn a land of sun and wind into a rich land for thousands of years. Egypt is one of the greatest cradles of human civilization, where more than 5,000 years ago, along the Nile River, a brilliant civilization was born with hieroglyphic writing, belief in many gods, and immortal structures such as the Giza pyramids and the Great Sphinx. Through the conquests of Alexander the Great, the period under the Roman Empire, and the spread of Islam that turned Cairo into a great cultural center, Egypt continued to change and develop. From the revolution in 1952 until today, this country still plays an important role in the Middle East and North Africa, where the glorious past and the modern present exist together in an impressive way. Located on the edge of the golden sands of the Sahara Desert, only a few kilometers from the center of Cairo, the Giza Pyramid Complex appears as an eternal symbol of power and the dream of immortality. Three great pyramids, the Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafra, and the Pyramid of Menkaure, were built from millions of huge stone blocks that were connected with amazing accuracy. And for thousands of years, they have made people feel surprised and continue to search for answers. In the wide space of sand and wind, the Great Sphinx lies quietly, majestic and mysterious, like a guardian of the glorious past. Coming to Giza is not only to see the only wonder of the ancient world that still exists, but also to step into a place where legend and history become one. It is a place where sacred rituals once happened, and where the belief in eternal life was carved deeply into stone. This is not simply a destination, but a direct meeting with one of the greatest civilizations that humanity has ever known. Leaving the busy city of Cairo and traveling to Luxor, visitors will enter a quiet world on the west bank of the Nile River, where dry, rocky mountains hide the secrets of more than 60 pharaohs. The Valley of the Kings does not show its greatness with big pyramids, but it hides deep under the ground, where each tomb was carved carefully, like a gate to the eternal world. The most famous tomb is the tomb of Tutankhamun, the young king whose shining gold treasures shocked the world when they were discovered in 1922. The beautiful reliefs and colorful wall paintings here are not only amazing to see, but they also tell the sacred journey to the afterlife, where the pharaohs believed they would meet the gods and live forever with time. Coming to this valley is like entering an underground museum of history and belief, where every wall quietly tells stories from more than 3,000 years ago. If the Giza Pyramid Complex is a symbol of the supreme power of the pharaohs, Karnak and Luxor show the highest level of spiritual life in ancient Egyptian civilization. Karnak, one of the largest temple complexes in the world, was built to honor the god Amun and other great gods. When visitors walk into the great hypostyle hall with 134 huge stone columns that are almost 20 meters high, they feel as if they are walking in a great stone forest, where every carving tells stories of myths and the victories of ancient dynasties. When sunlight passes through the ancient columns, the whole place becomes bright and creates a sacred scene that seems to be beyond time. Not far from there, the Luxor temple stands in a solemn and beautiful way, and it is connected with sacred coronation ceremonies where the pharaohs confirmed their divine power. Connecting the two temples is the Avenue of Sphinxes that is many kilometers long, with many majestic Sphinx statues on both sides. Walking on this road makes people feel as if they are following the footsteps of powerful kings who once walked toward the holy place under the witness of gods and history. Traveling to the south of Egypt, beside the wide Lake Nasser, the Temple of Abu Simbel appears like a heroic story carved into stone. It was built during the reign of Ramses II, and the temple is amazing with 4 giant statues that are almost 20 meters high, carved directly into the mountain, with majestic faces looking toward the rising sun as a symbol of power and immortality. Even more wonderful is the special astronomical event. Only 2 times every year, on February 22nd and October 22nd, the morning sunlight goes deep into the inner sanctuary and lights the statues of Ramses II and the sun god Ra, like a ceremony that was carefully planned more than 3,000 years ago. Abu Simbel is not only a building, but also an eternal statement about the intelligence, ambition, and greatness of ancient Egyptian civilization. If Luxor and Aswan show the ancient beauty of the Nile Valley, Alexandria opens a completely different world, where Egyptian civilization mixes with the romantic beauty of the Mediterranean Sea. The city was founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, and it once became a bright center of knowledge in the ancient world, where learning and legendary buildings came together. Beside the deep blue sea, the Kite Fortress stands strongly on the old place of the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, like a witness of a glorious time in the past. Long beaches, clear blue water, and a mild climate during the whole year give Alexandria a beauty that is both peaceful and charming. When people come here, they not only explore a lovely seaside city, but also feel the echo of a time that was once known as the heart of human knowledge. When people talk about Egypt, they cannot forget Cairo, the capital city that is more than 1,000 years old, where the spirit of ancient civilization mixes with the modern life that never stops moving. This city is like a colorful picture, where old mosques, sandstone fortresses, and traditional markets stand among busy traffic and bright lights at night. When visitors walk into Islamic Cairo, a heritage site recognized by UNESCO, they feel as if they are lost in a maze of history with narrow streets, ancient domes, and the sound of prayer echoing in the air. On the top of the Saladin Citadel stands the majestic Muhammad Ali Mosque, with a large dome and tall minarets rising into the sky, becoming an important symbol of Islamic architecture in the city. Cairo is not only a destination, but also the beating heart of Egypt, where the sacred past and the lively present meet in the same breath. In contrast to the busy life of Cairo, Aswan offers a gentle and poetic space beside the Nile River. This southern city is the place of the Aswan Dam, a great modern project that controls the flow of the Nile and creates Lake Nasser, one of the largest artificial lakes in the world. When the sunset comes, sitting on traditional felucca sailboats that move slowly on the water, visitors can feel a slow and peaceful rhythm that is very rare. From here, people can also travel to the colorful land of Nubia, where bright houses and friendly smiles tell the story of a unique culture in the heart of Egypt. Egypt is not only a land of deserts and pyramids, but it also has a tropical paradise along the Red Sea, where clear turquoise water surrounds some of the most beautiful coral reefs in the world. Sharm el-Sheikh is famous for its luxury resorts and international conference centers, and it offers a place that is both elegant and relaxing. Meanwhile, Hurghada attracts visitors with its lively atmosphere and long, endless beaches, where golden sunshine and sea wind create a charming and magical scene. The underwater world here is so rich that it is often called a living museum of the ocean, where every dive feels like opening a door into a colorful and unforgettable kingdom. Without the Nile River, there would be no Egypt. For thousands of years, this legendary river has brought fertile soil to both sides of the land and supported one of the most brilliant civilizations in history. Ancient Egyptians believed that the Nile was a gift from the gods, an endless lifeline that flows through the dry desert to create life. Today, a cruise journey from Luxor to Aswan is still an unforgettable experience, because from the deck of the boat, people can see peaceful villages, green fields, and ancient temples reflecting on the water, like witnesses of time. The Nile is not only a river, but also the beating soul of the whole country. But the attraction of Egypt does not stop at its wonders. It is also the moment when sunrise covers the Nile with golden light, the feeling of riding a camel across the Giza Plateau in the wide desert wind, and the nights when people look at the starry sky and listen to stories about Osiris, Isis, and Horus. From the turquoise beaches of the Red Sea to the colorful markets and lively daily life, Egypt offers a journey not only to explore, but also to truly feel and continue to admire again and again. Egyptian culture is a unique harmony between a glorious past and modern life. For thousands of years, this country has kept the treasures of a civilization that was once one of the most brilliant in human history. From the majestic pyramids and magnificent temples to beautiful sculpture and the mysterious hieroglyph writing system, everything shows a deep belief in religion, immortality, and knowledge. Today, this cultural spirit continues to live through the lively sound of the darbuka drum, the charming belly dance, and colorful festivals with strong religious traditions. Above all, the Nile River is still the endless soul of the nation, the source of inspiration that has supported the life, art, and identity of Egypt from ancient times to the modern world. Egyptian food is simple but very charming, and it clearly reflects the life and the hot climate of this land. Koshari, the national dish, is a special combination of rice, pasta, lentils, and rich tomato sauce, creating a simple but unforgettable taste. Ful Madams is rich and soft with slow-cooked fava beans. Ta'ameya is crispy and full of the smell of herbs, and Molokhia has a special green color and a light, unique taste. All of these dishes come together to create a food culture that has a strong Middle Eastern character. In addition, hot black tea, thick, strong coffee, or a glass of fresh sugarcane juice make the experience more complete and leave a simple but very special Eastern flavor. Egypt is not only a place on the travel map, but also a journey that helps people touch the roots of human civilization. Here there is the Giza Pyramid Complex, standing strongly in the desert. The Nile River flowing for thousands of years. Mysterious temples that keep the marks of the pharaohs. And most importantly, the friendly people who keep the spirit of ancient culture in modern life. Coming to Egypt means entering a world where the past and the present meet in every breath. Every stone, every part of the river, and every taste of food tells a story that goes beyond time. Maybe that is why Egypt is always called the Land of Wonders, a living memory that makes everyone who visits carry admiration and unforgettable memories.